It was a blissful afternoon when Isabella, a young black woman with notebooks tucked under her arm, strolled into the neighborhood library. The air inside was cool, filled with the quiet rustle of pages and the faint hum of the air conditioner. She chose a seat near the window, eager to dive into research for her project. As she laid out her pens and laptop, she barely noticed the girl at the next table until a sharp, exaggerated sound reached her ears. The girl pinched her nose dramatically, twisting her face like she just sniffed rotten eggs. At first, Isabella thought maybe it was a sneeze or allergies, but then the girl leaned back, loud enough for the entire row to hear, "Ugh, I can't breathe with her sitting here. Smells like dirt." The words hung heavy in the air, slicing through the calm silence of the library. Isabella's stomach knotted. She glanced around, feeling heat creep up her neck, her fingers itching to pack up and leave. When Isabella quietly gathered her books, hoping to exit gracefully, the girl's voice rose like a siren. "That's right, run off. You people don't belong in quiet spaces anyway." Snickers came from two tables over, but other faces frowned, confused and appalled. Phones appeared. Screens lit up. Cameras zoomed. A librarian, the gray-haired owner herself, stormed out from behind the counter, her glasses perched low. "Young lady," she said sharply to the noisy girl, "apologize. Right now. This is not your circus." If you're enjoying how this story is starting, don't forget to like and subscribe, because trust me, this ride is only getting sharper. The girl crossed her arms, rolling her eyes so hard you'd think they were about to fall out. "Apologize? For what? I told the truth," she snapped, pointing at Isabella as if she were pointing at a crime scene. "She doesn't even smell like books. She smells like the projects." Gasps erupted across the room, and every camera phone zoomed closer, the clicks echoing like gunfire in a duel. Isabella froze in her tracks, her chest tightening, but she refused to let tears give the girl satisfaction. The librarian stepped forward, slamming a thick dictionary onto the table with such force the noise boomed through the building. "I will not tolerate this filth in my library," she barked, glaring directly at the racist girl. "You either apologize or you will leave. Now." The girl let out a sarcastic laugh, tossing her ponytail. "Please, everyone knows who belongs here and who doesn't. People like her come in, pretending to study, but we all know it's charity when they let her stay." She raised her voice deliberately, making sure every microphone in every smartphone caught her words. The audience was split. Some sat frozen, others muttered angrily. A teenage boy whispered, "She's digging her own grave," and his friend replied, "Nah, she's already 6 feet under, just doesn't know it yet." Isabella finally lifted her chin, her voice calm but sharp as glass. "You're right about one thing. I don't belong to your tiny-minded world." The crowd murmured, recording every syllable. If you're enjoying how the pressure is building, smash that like button and subscribe, because the storm hasn't even started yet. The girl's smirk widened, as if Isabella's calmness was fuel for her fire. She leaned back in her chair, hands behind her head, talking loud enough for the entire library to hear. "Look at her, pretending to be classy. Newsflash, no matter how many books you read, you'll never change where you came from." Her friends at the back giggled nervously, clearly realizing they were now part of a viral disaster in the making. The librarian's patience snapped like a pencil. She slammed her palm on the table. "Enough. This library is a house of knowledge, not your stage for ignorance." The girl rolled her eyes again, but was drowned out by the chorus of phones chiming as live streams went live. On one screen, thousands of viewers were already typing comments. "Who raised this brat? She's cooked! Someone get her a shovel! She's burying herself!" Isabella, instead of shrinking, pulled her chair back and sat down again deliberately. Her composure was striking, like a queen on a throne. She pulled a thick book from her stack, opened it with care, and said loud enough for the phones to capture, "Education is power. That's why you're so scared of me sitting here." The library erupted in claps and laughter. Even the security guard at the door covered his mouth, trying not to snort. The girl's face turned crimson, her fists balled tight. "You think this is funny?" she screeched. "You're embarrassing yourself." But everyone could see clearly, she was the one unraveling. If you're loving how this is unfolding, don't forget to like and subscribe. The knockout blow is still coming. By now, the library had transformed into a courtroom, the crowd the jury, and the phones the judge. The racist girl's confidence cracked like glass under a hammer. She stood up, her chair screeching across the floor, and pointed at Isabella again. "You'll regret this. All of you will regret mocking me," she barked, but her voice wavered, trembling like a cheap speaker on full blast. The librarian, calm but deadly, adjusted her glasses. "Regret? The only regret here is that your parents didn't teach you manners." The room howled with laughter, and someone in the back shouted, "That line deserves its own TikTok." The girl spun around, realizing the world wasn't on her side. Every single lens pointed at her, captured her meltdown in high definition. Then came the twist of fate. The library owner raised her hand, and the monitors by the entrance flickered on. She connected one of the live streams, broadcasting the chaos across every screen. Gasps filled the air as the girl's own words replayed back at her. The insults, the nose pinching, the mocking tone. It was like watching her bury herself on repeat. The dogged crowd turned vicious. Teens chanted, "Apologize! Apologize!" while older patrons shook their heads in shame. The girl tried to bolt for the door, but security stepped in, blocking her path. The librarian delivered the final blow. "You're banned from this library, permanently. Ignorance like yours doesn't deserve access to wisdom." Isabella rose, regal, gathering her books with a soft smile. The applause that followed was thunderous, the kind of ovation meant for victors. The racist girl slumped into her seat, her reputation already ashes online. Isabella walked out into the sunlight, dignity intact, while the internet sharpened its knives. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and subscribe, because karma doesn't whisper, it screams through a microphone.